So Jen and Pat, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Jen and Pat have been working with Nathan and I now for over a year, right? They did our 12-week course last year and they've just finished a 20-week course with us recently. They have been the best students. They've got three beautiful children. So Jen and Pat, just share with us, how has learning the Nurtured Heart approach really benefited your family and your relationships, and also maybe share how you feel it might benefit, other people who might be listening in tonight.
Hi guys. Hi Lillian.
Hey.
Hello.
We just feel like doing this with you, Lillian. The Nurtured Heart approach has just turned our parenting upside down and just given us amazing relationships with our children, focusing on the positive instead of the negative, and building that relationship with them, and letting them know how great we think they are, has just changed them, but also changed us, and I think helped us in our relationships, not just with our kids, but with other people and with each other. I think the focusing on the positive has been a really big thing. I read one of the things that you put on our page, Lillian, that Howie had said about how when it's still a choice, when they make that right decision, they've made the choice to make that right decision, and acknowledging that, you just see their eyes light up, I think, when they see how proud you are of when you're energizing that greatness in them and those good choices. So I would highly recommend this to anybody. I think whether you're parenting together or single parenting or grandparents like some people have been, it's just it'll only better your relationship with your kids, but also with each other and others around you as well. I'll let Pat say something quickly too.
Yeah, we were on a different kind of trajectory, or a course that we thought we were doing the best we can. We were parenting with instinct and just pulling on resources from our childhood, and whether they were working or not, we were just like feeling defeated. And when this came along, we suddenly had all these new amazing tools to put into place and see that connection with your kids again, on an individual basis, and encouraging the positive all the time. Like we've rebuilt. We've got tools to rebuild our home. If you sort of feel like you're losing that from week to week, this is the kind of thing that gives you new tools to reconnect and rebuild with your children. Suddenly you're looking at them in the eye, and you've got that just amazing connection and heart, and just brings amazing positivity, and just all that juicy praise, Lillian.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jen and Pat. Like, they have just been the best students, and none of their kids are really particularly challenging. They're just everyday good kids, but they've gone from good to great, which is one of Howie's sayings as well. Thank you so much for sharing, guys. Appreciate you both. Thank you. Thanks heaps. So I'd like to introduce Tim to come and share. So Tim has a teenage son. He's also a teacher, and he's been incorporating Nurtured Heart approach for over 5 years with his students and at home. And he's also recently participated in our course that we just finished. So Tim, would you like to jump on?
Hi, yeah, thanks Lillian. Hi everybody. Thank you. Your course was really excellent that I just participated in, Lillian, 100%. And I discovered the Nurtured Heart approach when I went back to do a graduate diploma of teaching and learning to become a primary school teacher. It was actually right at the end of my grad dip. I did a 20-minute presentation on the Nurtured Heart approach. And for me, that was the thing about becoming a teacher that just connected all the puzzle pieces and made sense. And I was like, yes, that's what I needed to learn. And I've really had consistently a positive response whilst working with children, whether it be a single sort of casual day or extended contract or more full-time. One example was, I can't remember his name, but it was a little blonde boy. Wasn't teaching, hadn't been teaching for that long. And he was just so fantastic all week. And he just really awesome kid, big smiles, always would follow instructions. And I even rang his parents in the middle of class one day and said what a great job the student was doing. And he was really chuffed. And about 2 weeks after that contract ended, I was back at the same school, and the teacher of that class walked up to me, and I thought, oh, here we go. What's she going to do? Tell me about all the things I did wrong. And she came up to me and said, thank you so much for what you did with this particular boy. And I didn't even know, but apparently he was a really challenging kid that other teachers were kind of, oh, I want to avoid him, or had been in the past. And I honestly didn't even realize. And I don't think it's anything just to do with being a man or something like that. I think he just really responded well to that approach. And yeah, more recently, one of the ladies I work with, I had taught her son in a year 4 class. So I'm doing at the moment 2 contract days and some casual days. And I said, oh, that's your son. And she said, yeah, he come home. He was really excited and happy. He said that I told him he was tenacious. And I couldn't even remember it until she had said so. And it was really cool to see, because I'm sure there's these moments where the kids go home with something, a really positive feeling that I don't know about. But in this case, even his mum was, pretty pumped up and excited that her kid was having a positive experience at school. And exactly what Lillian said, I will echo. It's not just for the really challenging kids, the high intensity kids, the kids who really love school and really are committed and dedicated and sort of do what the teacher, a bit of a good boy, good girl, they really respond well as well. And they really, they can really help to see those kids thrive and go from good to great. I've got my own son at home as well, who I practice the nurtured heart approach with. Just try to, be the nurtured heart approach instead of doing it, and, bring that positivity and always finding something right with whatever's happening. And it is, I think it can't help but to have an influence on the person doing it eventually as well. It helps me to see the positives in life more often, to be able to zoom in enough. So it's something that I'm passionate about, and really actually would love to go and do one of the courses with Howie or the likes online. But so thanks very much for the work you're doing, Lillian, and for me being able to connect with a broader community here in Australia with the nurtured heart approach.
Thank you so much, Tim. That's heartwarming to hear those stories of how, the thin threads of, the positivity that can flow on with using the nurtured heart approach in the school system as well, that going home to the parent, and then imagine the parent, that just the positivity back and forth between all of those. And imagine if kids were getting that every day at home and at school, how awesome would that be, right? So Sandra, I would love for you to unmute and share. So Sandra, like Jen and Pat, have done our 2 courses. So Sandra did our 12-week course last year and has been doing our Nurture Your Heart to Greatness course this year. Sandra has 2 adult children and 3 beautiful grandsons as well. So Sandra, just share with us, how you've benefited, how your family's benefited from learning the nurtured heart approach. And I know it's helped you not just with your parenting, your grandparenting, but with your your mum and your husband and lots of other relationships as well.
Hi, everybody. Yes, it has. Doing the nurtured heart approach it's given a whole different energy to our house, particularly with our 3 little boys I have twice a week. And sometimes that can be a little bit challenging. And I found for me, I was parenting a lot like I parented our children, focusing on the negatives and the nurtured heart approach and giving that energy to the negatives. But the nurtured heart approach has shown, taught me the tools to focus on the positives, and that brings about a lot nicer energy. So just focusing on those positives that the children are doing, it just brought a whole different energy to the house. So by doing that, I was noticing I was getting more of the positive behaviour by focusing on those little things that they'd be doing right, instead of saying on being complaining all the time for things they're doing wrong. So that had that ripple effect right through the house, even through when David got home, I wasn't grumpy because the children had acted up, and so he came home to a happier home. I also learned about the juicy praise, giving rather than giving junk food praise that I was guilty of giving. I'd say, "Oh, good boy, well done," but not really explain to the children what I was happy about. So, letting them know, thank you for picking those toys up. That really helped. And, you could really see their little chests pop out when you gave them that juicy praise. So there were lots of tools that helped me with the grandchildren. And then I was able to share those tools with their mum too, and dad. So it's had that ripple effect there as well. So, but for me, the course wasn't only about grandparenting or helping with grandparenting. It was more like a personal development course. I found it had the ripple effect out into all areas of my life. Relationships with my siblings and my mum and friends. So I just can't thank Lillian enough for the course, and I'm just so thrilled that I did it. It's just been a wonderful asset. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Sandra, once again, so dedicated on week after week after week, and just really enjoying the connection and just the learning. It was a pleasure to have you in the courses, Sandra. Really enjoyed you. Thank you. So Teresa is a mum of 3 young adult children. Now, Teresa tells me this photo is about 4.5 years old, and she needs a new family photo. So the kids are a little bit more grown up now. So she's got 3 young adults. And Teresa has really been embracing working with us in the Nurture Your Heart to Greatness course. Like Sandra and Pat and Jen, and Tim, she's really been committed to joining us every week to learn and to improve her relationships. So, Teresa, are you there, love?
I am. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Oh, good. Thank you, Lillian. Hello, everyone. In preparing to talk about the Nurtured Heart and how it has impacted me, 3 words really kept coming up for me, and that was calm, positive, and focus. And since learning the Nurtured Heart approach, I am so much more able to ask calmly for what I need in a positive way, as opposed to what I was doing before, was saying what I didn't want or didn't need, or asking my family to stop doing things. So that's been such a huge thing for me. And over the 6 months that I have been learning and practicing and focusing on the positive, we as a family have increased our ability to listen to each other, to ask each other positively, not just me, everybody is doing it. And that's just been such a great thing. And the environment of us as a family is so much nicer. Learning the Nurtured Heart approach has given me really concrete tools, and I've loved that aspect of it, to use in many situations, not just in the family. And I find when I write texts or emails, I think about what I'm writing a lot more than I used to, and I focus on the positive. And if I know that I'm meeting someone a little bit negative, or I'm going to be in a situation that isn't necessarily pleasant, I really focus on preparing for that and preparing to draw out the positive things. And I leave the environment feeling so much better than I would have if I didn't do that. So the Nurtured Heart has helped me in that way as well. And overall, it's been such a wonderful experience to learn the approach. And Lillian is a wonderful teacher. Thank you, Lillian. And the way that she takes you through and gives you really, like I said, concrete things to think about, to go home and practice. It's just been really, really wonderful. And I feel so much better knowing that framework of the systematic framework that Andrew was talking about. You know, there it is, and you can follow it in the different environments. And it's just, you know, made me feel so much better. And I know that anyone who learns the Nurtured Heart approach will improve their relationships with their family and all their relationships, really. So thank you.
Oh, wow, Teresa. I think you could go on and teach it yourself. The student becomes the teacher. That was beautiful, Teresa. Thank you so much for that really heartfelt share. I love the way that just flowed from you so naturally and beautifully. And once again, Teresa has just been an amazing student and participant, and we've all become really good friends in this group. We've all got to know each other really well, and it's just so beautiful. Teresa was actually one of Nathan's patients, as were Jen and Pat, actually, or as are Jen and Pat. So that's fantastic. Yeah, really caring mum, absolutely. Thank you so much to everybody who has been interacting in the chat box. It's been awesome. And just in conclusion, I'd love for you just to cast your eyes to the screen at the moment. And this is my why. You know, when some of you heard the story of when I actually did my book launch for this book back in 2009. And if you've heard the story, I'm just going to tell it again very quickly. So Andrew and I actually did a book launch. I think it was in Brisbane from memory. And there were 200 or 250 or so people there. And, you know, Andrew and I shared about our story and our healing and our journey with our son after he'd come out of the revolt. Not that things were perfect, but they were certainly a heck of a lot better. And we had a Q&A at the end, right? And somebody put their hand up and said, "Can I ask Caleb a question?" And he looked at me tentatively and he goes, "Yeah, I suppose so." And anyway, he stood up and the person said, "Caleb, can I ask you, what was it that took you from where you were just a few months ago to where we see you today?" And we've heard the story. What was it what changed for you? How did it happen? And my ears were like, yes, I need to know the answer to that, right? Because I want to know the answer. That was a really good question. And Caleb thought about it just for a few seconds. And then he said, when I saw the effort that my mum and dad went to be the absolute best parents they could be, I just wanted to be the best son. So let that sink in. So if you're on today and your children see you being the best parents they can be, imagine having them say, I just want to be the best kid I can be. I just want to be the best son, the best daughter I can be. And look at the beautiful letters that I get from my son. And I've got many of them, you know, they're just a few that I could fit on the page there. I get flowers, I get letters of recognition and gratitude every day from both of my sons. Both of my sons are amazing. So it is worth it, guys. It is worth the time. It's worth the effort. It's worth the commitment on all levels. So that's it from me.